This is Switzer Network News. Los Angeles, California is one of the biggest transportation hubs in the world, but that has major health implications for residents. Exposure to diesel fumes has an impact on everyone, and Switzer Fellow Scott Fruin documents those effects, especially on children.
Right now, we're seeing two almost opposite things happening. We're seeing LA have such a success story in cleaning up its air in general, but we're seeing along these truck corridors a big lag in air improvement. In some cases, probably a reversal of progress.
While diesel vehicles are cleaner, the miles those vehicles are driving is increasing, and the number of people living along these corridors has also increased.
And a lot of times people live far too close to these kinds of busy collections of diesel activity, or their schools are sited too close. So I think we have to be really careful that some of these neighborhoods aren't left behind or forgotten about in the overall improvement of LA air quality.
Scott and his colleagues observe a higher incidence of asthma among children living along these corridors as compared to the general population. In fact, the incidence of asthma is twice as high.
We do see that both the kids that grew up in the dirtier parts of LA, which are now getting to be the inland areas, as well as the kids that live close to freeways, have a slower rate of lung growth and end up with actually, if you will, smaller lungs when they're fully grown.
While we've been talking about diesel engines and trucks, is there a broader take-home message for us?
To the extent we can get away from this kind of urban model of fossil fuel-powered private transportation, I think is a way we need to go. It has global climate change implications now. It's a big part of our energy use. It's still a big part of our exposure, and we get a lot of exposure also during the time we drive. We still have that basic paradigm of how we get around that I think needs changing before our cities really turn into as pleasant a places to live as they could be. Now that the community pressure and the public pressure on the cargo traffic impacts has reached a level that's getting political support and political attention, the Air Resources Board has passed some very driving rules as far as speeding up that fleet turnover and lowering the emissions. So we're seeing that come down very rapidly right now.
You can support these changes by visiting the Air Resources Board website and by participating in planning workshops for the Los Angeles area. My thanks to Scott Fruin. Remember, you can subscribe to our reports on YouTube so you can see them as soon as they are produced. I'm Hricko.